I'm very happy to announce that Vice Chancellor of Workforce and Economic Development at the California Community Chancellor's Office, Sheneui Weber, is going to come up to speak with us for this morning. And Sheneui has been a wonderful addition to teacher preparation and everything that she brings and the questions she asks and the support she gives. And thank you so much for being here today. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes up.
Okay, hello everyone again. So I was asked to speak to you this morning, and so I thought I would perhaps come from the perspective of workforce and economic development and how we look at teacher preparation programs. I've been in my job for 6 months, having spent about 18 years in the field at Long Beach City College, and then also about 8 years at Cal State Long Beach. So I have experience in both systems. As the Vice Chancellor of Workforce and Economic Development, my job at the Chancellor's Office is to look at how policy, structure, funding, and program implementation lead to successful workforce education and training outcomes for our students at the 115 California community colleges. For us, workforce is everything. And starting from the K-12 system to the community colleges to the four-year institutions and beyond, it's about preparing students for lifelong learning and careers that support economic mobility. And you heard about Eloy mentioning that, and the superintendent as well. It's also about, for us, it's also about empowering and arming our individuals with skills to earn wages that support themselves and their families with a good standard of living. So that's kind of our driving focus. And also, if you think about it, companies cannot thrive without a good workforce. And workforce is what drives our economy. And think about this. Teaching is the profession upon which all other professions depend upon, right? So teachers and educations, you are at the very core of preparing the workforce, which is what we do. And we all know that we face very significant workforce challenges today, and you've all heard about that. So, which is why our system is really working to transform how we prepare students in the world of rapidly changing technologies. We've all heard about automation and artificial intelligence, which gets thrown around a lot, and how that is impacting the nature of jobs, and how that's requiring a new set of skills and competency. And our students have to have that ability to adapt constantly to the emerging technologies and figure out and be prepared for jobs that don't even exist today. So that's the reality that we're challenged with. And we're challenged with making sure that our students have the right skills that our employers want to be successful in the careers, not just today, but also in the future. And then on top of that, you have an age where it's 24/7 access to information. And we all hear about how many jobs are being displaced by technology, by automation. And the way I see it, though, is that automation, teachers cannot be replaced by automation. It is one profession that there's no substitute, because we haven't figured out how to replicate the human brain. And I don't know that we will, at least not in our lifetime. Because, what you do, right, somebody who coaches, mentors, facilitate learning, that is a very personal skill. That is not something that machine learning or artificial intelligence will be able to figure out in a very long time. So, given all of that, and given how industry is evolving and developing so quickly, there's so much innovation, As an industry, though, as education as an industry, more innovation is needed for us, for the education profession, to get us where we need to go, right? So my office recognizes the importance of this public career sector. You know, teaching is part of the public career sector. And it's why we're now investing in creating statewide leadership to elevate and make more visible the public career sector, the public sector careers, which teachers are part of. By doing that, I believe that we will enhance the industry approach that we've already taken to workforce development. We have many different sectors, you know, that we focus on: healthcare, IT, advanced transportation, you know, biotech, advanced manufacturing. There's a lot more that I'm not gonna, probably don't remember right now, but you know what I mean. And so the idea is that if we were to elevate this and provide more visibility, we begin to shift how we view workforce development issues for teachers and educators, because you are essentially part of the workforce, and it's a very, very key, important piece of the workforce, right? And you drive other workforce. There are other reasons that are why teacher preparation programs are really important to us at the Chancellor's office. Over 60% of the teaching credential candidates in California has attended a community college. And these are future teachers that really closely reflect the diversity, the language capabilities, and the ethnicities of our students, right, in our schools and our colleges. And you've heard that diversity is really important, and our Chancellor said you can be prosperous and diverse, and that is very important. We really need to focus on that, because teacher diversity is also a very big factor in student success and equity. So at the Chancellor's office, my team, led by Jeff Marizek and Cynthia McFarlane, our rock star who helped pull this conference together, they are really working very hard with you in the field to continue to support and prioritize teacher preparation programs and to address the teacher shortage. We're exploring ways to provide consistent funding and annual allocation for teacher preparation programs statewide. That's really important, the consistent funding. We've experienced that in workforce development. And we've seen how powerful that can be when you have ongoing workforce development funding, which we have received under the Strong Workforce Program. So that's really critical. And then looking at how we can integrate funding like Perkins to support programs that create more CTE educators and then create more faculty with experience in businesses and industry. So we've all heard about the term that everybody throws around, the future of jobs, right? The future of jobs is really about the future of learning and the future of teaching. Teachers and educators, even more so than before, must partner with industry to accelerate work-based learning and skills competency-based learning into teaching and learning, because that gives our students a leg up to be successful in achieving their education and career goals. And speaking of work-based learning, though, if you think about, this is how I see it, a key workforce training tool that we have is apprenticeship. Are you all familiar with the apprenticeship model? Yes. So think about it. The apprenticeship model has been very successful in a number of countries and in a number of industries in the United States, right? And we are encouraging our colleges to expand apprenticeship into non-traditional industries through apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship grants. I happen to think that the apprenticeship model may be a very viable solution for teacher training. And the reason I say that is because it's a earn and learn program, right, that has very high rigor, many, many hours of classroom and practical field work, learning on the job, while being paid. And this is also speaks to the front loading of training that Superintendent Thurman spoke about. And I think the importance is looking at the apprenticeship model from a perspective of, as you're learning, you're being paid, and then once you pass a certain credentialing milestone, that your wages takes a significant jump, right? So it's just something I think about, and I wanted to just share that with you. So today I'm actually very excited about this conference and bringing together all these, all of you coming together as like-minded individuals to exchange ideas and dialogue. And even more exciting, I think, is having, it's quite a coup that you guys got the leading expert on education, Linda Darling-Hammond, who will be speaking to all of us today. We're very fortunate to have her leadership here and her expertise here in California, and actually to have the opportunity to recognize her for the work in advancing education. So I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say. And then finally, I will leave you with this. Just want to remind you that your leadership, and I think you already know this, your leadership, advocacy, and voice is really important in helping us transform education in California, the 5th largest economy in the world. So we need to remember that. So thank you all for the work that you do. Enjoy the conference, network, learn, and innovate. Thank you.